If you have an online business and you're planning on taking a social media break, or you have already gone ghost and you're stressing out on how to get clients, I've been there. Hi, I am Ioni, and for the longest time I thought that building an online business meant that you had to burn yourself out on social media. Well, I took an unintentional break off of social media for 12 months, and here are the 5 ways I've learned on how to stay afloat beyond social media. Let's go. The first thing I did was, well, hold on. Let's talk about the tea or the wine on the risks of being off of social media as an online small business owner, and then why I took a social media break on the first place. So if you want to hear the steps right away, you can skip this part. In my humble opinion, this is the biggest risk: losing your confidence and giving up, allowing FOMO and guilt to take over and to create that delusion that if you're not on social media, you don't have a business. And if you're thinking of taking a social media break, let me know below the reason. I'd love to know. Now, the reason I went on a social media break was initially completely unintentional. Let me first start by saying that I despise when we turn a fuck up in positive celebration. Yes, I'm all for celebrating. I'm all for seeing the glass half full. However, there needs to be a certain type of self-awareness and self-acknowledgement of the times that you don't do so well, of the times that, you know what, this was a mess up. So let me start by some of the things I would do differently. At the beginning of 2022, I had gotten sick. Also, that time coincided with actually the busiest and most profitable period in my business. And I was overwhelmed with client work, with my mental health, because 2021 was one of the hardest years for me. And I was also dealing with some other personal challenges and changes, which I'm not going to get into right now. It kind of trickled into me not showing my face because I was taking care of my literally physical health, my mental health, and my clients, which was my number one priority. Now, what that ended up happening is that after I got well, I realized that I was actually anxious at the thought of going back on social media, of feeling burned out again, answering to like hundreds of comments sometimes daily, having to create content, having to put up my best face every day while I'm taking care of myself, like was seriously giving me so much anxiety. So I decided to postpone it. Now, 1 month led to 2 to 3 to 4, but this is what I would have done differently. I would have still taken off social media. I would have still taken the break, but with one huge exception. I didn't give a heads up to the people that matter the most: friends, family, but I also ghosted potential clients. And the worst part, you haven't heard it all yet, I ghosted partnerships that I was getting into, collaborations that I was involved in. So me doing that, not giving a heads up, going completely MIA, was a coping mechanism to manage and navigate the stress. And if you relate to this, if you have the same stress coping mechanism, you completely understand where I come from. But let's be honest, when someone cuts off communication cold turkey, you can't help but feel like maybe you did something wrong and question the person, question their honesty, question everything they said. Did they really mean it? So that was really, really shitty. And I truly regret not having learned the skills to cope with stress and to cope with my situations in a different way. And this is actually one of my worst demons. Avoidance is how I unfortunately cope with stress. So this is really what happened. 1 month off of social media became 2, a quarter became a second quarter, and I was actually feeling good. I was actually feeling good being off social media, but at the same time, I was feeling immense guilt, and I was feeling really sad for not contacting the people that matter the most. Like, two things can be true, right? Like, you should have been doing things differently, and at the same time you are still doing the wrong thing. It's like smoking. You know this shit is killing you, but you're still enjoying the smoke. And I'm not saying I was enjoying going MIA, but it was a mechanism to help me regain my sanity. The stress really got the best of me. So that's the reason. And after the 6 months of not being on social media, not showing my face, not doing any business through social media, it had kind of become a choice at that point. So I told myself that I'm going to use that time that I'm saving now, that I'm regaining, to create, learn a new skill, and to gain my sanity. So I did a lot of meditation. I read a lot. I spent a lot of time in nature. I felt like I was getting back to myself in a weird way. And I decided to use that time to come up with a better strategy on how to be on social media in a more effective way. And I feel that this was so necessary for me. If I were to do it again, I would still take the break, but with the exception that I would let the people that matter the most to me and my business, I would give them a heads up. Okay, so now let's talk about the 5 ways I learned on how to get clients and stay in business beyond social media. So let's go. First, reach out and offer your solution directly. For those of you who have been lied to by social media that you only sit and wait and attract your ideal client, well, let me tell you this, that unless you reach out, clients will never find you. Especially if you are off of social media now, you're going to have to go to potential clients to offer your solution. And notice what I said. I didn't say go and sell. I didn't say go and pitch. I didn't say go and send a marketing email. I said offer your solution, because at the basis of it all, if you want to make money, you're gonna have to offer a solution to someone's pain. A lot of social media coaches and channels say that cold marketing, cold outreach is dead, is rude, is outdated.
Cold calling is dead.
Cold calls of mine literally go nowhere.
In business, cold calling can totally damage your reputation.
Before I started my online business, I was a national sales manager. Before that, customer service manager. And before that, I was a sales supervisor. So let's just say I have some experience in sales, okay? One thing that I've learned is that a lot of times, us human beings, we don't know what we need. We know what we want, but we don't know always what we need. And that is why you should not be afraid to do a cold outreach. In your head, you might be thinking, oh my God, like I'm annoying them, I'm bothering them, like I'm trying to force a sale onto them. But a lot of times, human beings really appreciate being offered a solution to something they really care about solving. You're gonna have to get out of the mindset that sales is an evil action. Especially if you are taking a social media break, you're gonna have to be the one offering your solution. Now, there's plenty of ways to do this, and one of the easiest and best ways is to reach out to your warm network. Yes, I know you might be shy having your auntie or your friend finding out that you have this online business, but every single successful business started by asking their warm network for referrals, and that is no different to you. Take pride in what you offer. Take pride in the fact that you have had the cojones to put yourself out there and create a business. And most people will not judge you. Most people will actually be jealous or admire. They mostly admire the fact that you've had the courage to go out there and create something you love. And a lot of people want to help you. There are 2 ways to reach out and offer your solution: cold outreach and warm outreach. Start with warm outreach. How do you do that? First step, send out an email or a text or pick up the phone and tell them the following. Hi, John. Right now I have 3 spots, 5 spots, 10 spots open for training this month. And I would love your help if you knew anybody in your circle who would benefit from my services. If you did that, I would gladly offer you a free consultation or a free product. It would mean so much for my small business. Thank you so much for your help. That's it. Seriously, that's it. You can also mention the fact that during the season you're having a special, you're having a promo, and you're so excited to share to more people, and you would really appreciate if you were to share this with someone in his circle. Or you can be smarter and use this template. Hey John, right now I actually have a special and I thought of you because I remember that you have X type of people in your network and I feel this would be of value to them. Do you have anybody on top of your mind right now who you think would benefit from this? It would be super helpful to my small business and I would appreciate your help. Thank you so much. That's it. Now moving on to cold outreach. For this, you would require to build up a bit of a system. So example, one of my favorite people to work with is personal trainers, fitness trainers. What we did is went on Google, found local gyms and local personal trainers, wrote down their address, and then created a template, and then I just emailed. If this feels too salesy for you, you can personalize your email 100%. This will take longer, but it will put you at ease that you're not just being just any other marketer out there. And what you could do is you could do your research and find out elements from the person's social media, the person's website, and incorporate it in your email. I'll drop an example right here to see what I mean. Another way to still make money and get clients during your social media break is to list yourself in a local professional directory. This is pretty straightforward. There is paid and free options, and this truly depends on the industry and business you're in. So for example, for me, I'm a business coach and there is Numi. There's many different platforms where I can subscribe, whether it's paid or free, to be listed on. So if clients are looking for services that I can offer, they can find me in there. From these professional directors, I have already found 2 clients. Now, the third way to still make money and get clients while you are on a social media break is a very underrated approach, and that is to go local. Not loco, local. Are you saying local or local? I'm saying local. Take the opportunity to show your face and represent your business and your services and your product by attending local networking opportunities. This could look like roundtables, speaking events, lunch dates. Not only will it bring eyes to your business and what you do, and you can get potential clients from there, but it will also decrease some of the FOMO and guilt you may be feeling by not showing your face on social. This is your chance to be the #1 representative of your business. Talk about your business in every interaction you have. At the grocery store, I know this may sound like a lot. At the gym, remove your headphones and have some human interactions. We actually hired someone to mount the TV in the living room, and I found out that he's so passionate about what he does. So I started sharing with him what I do. He loved it. We exchanged contacts. So this is just an example that if you don't talk about your business, especially when you're off social media, who will? And that is actually a great opportunity for you to practice your elevator pitch. So go out there and shine. The fourth way on how to still make money and get clients while you are on a social media break is to bring eyes and traffic to you. If you are a new business and you don't already have a website, a landing page, that's fine. You can still bring traffic to you. I assume you have an email, you have a phone number, you have a LinkedIn. Maybe you're not completely off of social media. Regardless, you can still create traffic for potential clients to find you. Now is the time to establish yourself on Google My Business. This is an excellent way to show your face online without being on social media. It literally takes 10 minutes to create a Google My Business profile. So if you're not on there, especially if you have a product, you need to create a profile now. Now, if you do have a website or a landing page, a blog, do work on your SEO. However, caution this. Just because you have extra time, it doesn't mean you should work on your SEO yourself. Hire an expert, delegate this, get a web designer so you can use the time you're gaining that you're not on social media to do something else, which is and should be sales. If you don't have a website, I have 2 ways for you to bring traffic to your business while you are off of social media. Number one, if you're shy and prefer to write or record content that is prepared, make a list of high traffic websites, podcasts, blogs, YouTube channels that you would like to be featured in. And then list 3 to 5 topics you could bring value to their audience. Then write up a short email, key is short email, and reach out to them to ask if you could collaborate or contribute to their audience. And that will be in an exchange of a mention of your business. And that's it. If you're looking for help with all these email templates and you don't know where to start, I have a freebie for you. So check the link down below and download it. Now, if you like speaking, you can create a high value piece of content, such as an article or a video, but now ask to get an interview or speak at their event. And now the 5th way is nurture current and former clients. This is by far the best way to remain in business while you're taking a break. In order to get repeat business, you want to keep in touch with former and current clients either on a weekly or monthly basis. You can use an email newsletter to do this. You can text them. You can also give them a call depending on your relationship with them. One thing to keep in mind is that it costs more money to acquire a new client than to retain an existing one. Now, here are the 5 lessons I've learned during my social media break. First, delegate and get your shit in order. At the beginning, I was finding myself falling into that same cycle of doing all these tasks myself. And then I was like, hold on, I have gained all this time from not burning myself on social, yet I'm spending more time in organizing files, trying to build a website. I decided it was time to put on my big girl pants and I hired a full-time VA. I also had to digest and accept that I'm not a web expert and the hours that I spend creating a landing page, fixing errors, they would be better spent somewhere else. Sales, coaching. So I ended up hiring a web expert to correct those errors for me. I also wanted to start on a clean slate and I had an urgent need to organize my media files so I can create content, and that's what my VA helped me do. The 3rd lesson I learned during my break was the importance of expanding my skill set. One of the great things of being on social media every day or creating content daily, which was what I was doing, was that I was getting to practice my pitch. I was talking about my offers, which was then helping me come up with better ideas. So taking such a long break from practicing my craft did impact my confidence whenever I would talk about my business, whenever I would talk about my services. So what I ended up doing, I signed up for a few courses, paid and free, to continue to practice that skill set. There's gonna be a gazillion of trainings out there and you will never find the best one. There's so many good trainings out. Just pick one and get it started. The 4th lesson I learned during my social media break is to prioritize creating and strategy. I had so many ideas that were taking up mental space that were not helping me focus on some of the most important areas of my business. With all this newfound time in my hands and this distraction-free environment that I had created, now I had enough time to actually prioritize strategy. The 5th lesson I learned during my social media break is that if all else fails, get a job or look for a government assistance program for business owners. There is absolutely no shame in getting a job and supporting your dream while you're also take a break mentally, physically. And to wrap it all up, one more lesson I learned during my social media break is to redefine my relationship with social media. So here are my final thoughts. It was an emotional experience to be off of social media, to ghost people that matter to me, and it was an emotional experience also going through the healing during that process. My time off of social media was a productive one, and I'm proud of who I've become. I'm proud of my growth. I'm proud of taking care of myself mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and I know it's gonna be an emotional experience returning back on social media. The great thing about running an online small business is that you don't need many customers to make your business viable. The viral nature of social media isn't actually necessary to run an online business. What's more advantageous for me is to enjoy the process and the journey without feeling like life is passing me by. And I know that the season of business I was required me to step back, reevaluate, and take care of myself first in order for me to return and show up even more powerfully, not just for my clients, but for myself as well. I actually don't hate social media. I actually enjoy the interaction and the networking and getting to know so many people and learning from others, but I also enjoy rubbing elbows literally with other people at networking events and interacting with people in person. The truth is, if you are running an online business, you need to be online. For me, both are important, in person and online. And this year will be about balancing both. But first, it will start with some apologies to the people that I ghosted. I hope you learned something from my social media break for 12 months, from my mistakes, my mess ups, and from my successes. And I'll see you on the next video.